everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Three Dads and a Console. We know not everyone can stay up to date in the latest and greatest of video game news that you need to know about, so we are here to do it for you. Remember, this show is kid-friendly, so no earmuffs are needed. Sometimes you might need a mouth guard. Speaking of which, we have Court. Hello, Court.
Hello.
Court's like Kanye West when he sang Through the Wire. He can't move his mouth because he's got a little bit of a wound. Yeah. So everyone, thoughts and prayers on Court's situation, but thank you for joining us in body and in spirit. Also, we are joined by the illustrious
I like
Pez,
that.
Pez the White, because he's wearing a white bandana. Like
Ooh, I don't think you can say that anymore.
Well, so I was watching Summer Games Done Quick, and they did Lord of the Rings: Return of the King, and they showcased how OP Gandalf the White is in that game. So, got LO2R on my brain.
What's the crack, mates?
Court is making he wouldn't know, but like the reactions that anime people make, because they can't just like make it a hit. They go,
Okay.
So
I'll be back.
All right, Court's going to get mouthwash. He'll be back.
So while he does that, we're going to talk about something. Unfortunately, he's not here to join us because we know how much he loves Nintendo.
Really?
As do you. But we're going to be talking about the Nintendo Direct that happened.
Yes.
And Pez is this was a Pez event.
Yes.
He took notes. He what else did you do? You live reacted?
So for those that can see on youtube.com/3dadsonaconsole, you can see my notes. So I wrote down almost every game that they showed. I had 21 games. I think I missed some.
What is Mario is a head ass? What does that mean on your notes?
Mario. Where? Oh, Mario.
I just made it up.
Mario plus Rabbids. Sparks of Hope. Because Waba, I'm a multitasker. So I've been on vacation. And I have been streaming at twitch.tv/Pazel56x. So on Tuesday, we played Super Mario Brothers 3, a randomized version of Super Mario Brothers 3. But before that, we live reacted to the Direct. As I was watching and live reacting, I was writing down every title that was coming up. As I did that, I checked off the titles that I was interested in.
Look at that. Look at you.
And I said on stream, I'm doing this because we're going to talk about it on Wednesday.
So let's ask you the titles, because I mean, there's only a few, but you have a more in-depth knowledge and care about Nintendo. Mm-hmm. Which title are you most excited for, or do you want to just go down the list and give your impressions? Because there's a lot of announcements.
I think the one I'm most excited for has to be obvious. Right?
I mean, Monster Hunter, Monhunt.
Yes,
a little
Monhunt. A little Monhunt, as the sweats call it. Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak comes out tomorrow. If you're listening to this on the audio version, it is already out.
How much is it?
I think it is $40. It is a legit expansion. It is the same thing that Monster Hunter did with their they're probably their most famous game now, which is Monster Hunter World. So they put that game out for PlayStation and Xbox and PC, and then they came out with an incredibly large expansion that added a new area, added new monsters, added new weapons, added new decorations, added new everything. So that is what this is for PC and Switch, because it is a Switch console exclusive.
So I'm reading the little blurb about it, and if you don't know Monster Hunter, I don't. It's very silly. It gave us a new look at Shagaru Magala, Furious Rajang, and Seething Basil Goose.
Yep, sure did.
And the weird thing is, to Pez, that sentence makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
To some of you might be like, what enchantment did you just put on me? What hex has fallen in my house?
I was very excited for the stuff they showed. Especially, and as they were showing Furious Raging, I'm like, oh my god, Furious Raging, oh my god, Seething Basil Goose, and Using all my stupid nerdy names for him. I'm really excited. Again, it comes out tomorrow. I have the day off, so I'll be streaming it live for about 4 to 6 hours, I think. Basically throughout the complete afternoon. It adds master rank or G rank for the folks that have played pre Monster Hunter World. So master rank is there's low rank, high rank, and then what they do is once you get through high rank is they add master rank, which means more monsters. The monsters that are already part of the base game come back, but they have different moves. So it's like it's a new move set that you have to learn. Better weapons, better gear, better all that stuff. So I'm really excited. Monster Hunter is probably my second favorite series of all times, but is edging Legend of Zelda for my favorite series of all time.
Damn.
Yeah. I mean, my first Monster Hunter experience was on the PS Vita, and I played the PSP version of Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. And ever since then, I've been hooked. So I've been playing this series now for, I don't know, 2007. So I've been playing for a long time. And I played like Monster Hunter Tri, which was on the Wii. I played Monster Hunter Freedom Unite on the Vita, like the PSP version. I played that on the Vita forever. I played World. I put about 600 hours in the PS4 version of Monster Hunter World. I can tell you right now, I have on the Switch version, because I had my Switch hanging out here. On the Switch version, I have played for 175 hours or more of Base Rise on the Switch, and I've played on the PC because I bought it for the PC when it was on the Steam Summer Sale. I played about, I don't know, I'm going to guess 15 hours of that or less. So overall, almost 200 hours of Monster Hunter Rise.
That's about it's actually, because I did the math, 7.875 days.
Yeah. Yeah. So Monster Hunter, again, easily one of my favorite, if not my favorite. And again, it edges Legend of Zelda as my favorite of all time. So we'll see. Excellent. But yeah, very excited. It was the first thing they showed, which like for me kicked it off beautifully. We were ready to go. And then we got into, I always say this wrong, Nier Automata.
I thought it was Autonoma.
Again, I always say it wrong.
I might be saying it wrong too. You know what? I'll take credit. I'm saying it right.
Yeah, I believe you. You know what? You're probably saying it right.
Someone in their car yelling about how I'm a liar. Do you care about that game?
No. And so
I think at least I was gonna say I like the game design, but I don't mean in a lewd way because of I think it's standard JRPG style. I mean it looks cool. I haven't even tried it yet, even though it seems like a game I'd enjoy.
No, same. I think it's a game I would very much enjoy as well. But when I was reacting to it, what I said was, unless you've only had a Nintendo, you've already had the means to play it. So if it's a game you wanted to play, you've had the means to play it. If it's a game you haven't want to play it, or it's like on your backlog, but it just keeps falling, then it's this isn't gonna
play it on Switch if you can.
This isn't gonna blow your mind. You know, if you can play it on PS4, Xbox One, it may have even come out for the Xbox 360. Honestly,
would surprise me. What other announcements are you excited for that came out?
Let's see. I wrote down Blanc. So Blanc was a Xbox One. Yeah, okay. Blanc looked like a very cool and artistic indie game. It looks like that you will control a white deer and a black dog, and everything's in black and white, solid blacks, outlined whites. Looks very, very cool. There was Mega Man Battle Network. There is a collection coming out. I thought I was very happy to see it. It's not. I didn't put a check mark next to it because I have played the Battle Network games, but I don't have recollection of like if I loved them. You know, because it's not like Mega Man 2 or Mega Man 3. Like if you grew up playing those, you're like, oh my god, I love Mega Man 2. The soundtrack is amazing. Blah 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 blah. It's like Battle Network. I'm like, yeah, I think I've played it, but then it just is gone.
I mean, it was originally a GBA game, and I have a very fond memories of that console. So, I never had the chance to play it. Then I've seen it in the since then. So, that's actually I think on Switch it's gonna be a very popular, and I think it belongs there too.
Yeah, once Capcom was doing the Mega Man Legacy Collection and then the Mega Man X Legacy Collection, people were asking for Battle Network. It is not like this one-off title, like I don't know, Super Mario RPG Land of the Seven Stars, right? It's not this like one-off title that people have fond memories of. There's like 10 of them.
Yeah.
So people have purchased those and people have bought those and have fond memories of them. And as much as I would love a Super Mario RPG remake or sequel or remaster or whatever, like that's never gonna happen.
It's true.
Unfortunately, freaking Square Enix, dude.
Boo. Yeah, maybe
too
you can
busy
get
riding the
an
blockchain.
NFT.
Too busy riding Seth Green's blockchain, baby.
Woo!
I don't mind going right down the list. So we had
Do it.
Lorelei and the Laser Eyes. Looked like a very weird cyber-esque setting because there were a lot of like blacks and pinks and like cyber-esque almost setting, like crime mystery game. But I'm too dumb for those, so I had no interest in it.
So I don't know a lot about it, and I hope it's on other consoles because it's made by the studio behind Sayonara Wild Hearts and it's published by Annapurna. So like it's a really good pedigree.
Mm-hmm.
And like one of the notes I saw here, it says it has a hint of Killer 7 to it, which is like a really good like PS2 game that I played. So
Nice.
it says it's a modern take on puzzle adventure games. It seems like a game that I could get into, but if it's only on Switch,
you won't get into it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm very selective about my Switch, which I haven't actually purchased a game for it yet.
So selective, the games are zero.
Well, Advance War is the one.
Is coming, yeah. Super Bomberman R2. Look cool, not a Bomberman guy.
I don't understand the appeal of Bomberman.
I don't either.
And I'm sorry if you are like a diehard Bomberman fan. Like if you have like Bomberman tattoo, I'm sorry. I know it's a good. The gameplay has not changed since the Depression. It's literally the same game. And yes, I get that I play NHL every year. I'm allowed to be hypocritical. But like Bomberman, literally, it's the same game. All they do is put some new colors in it.
Yeah, not a game for me.
No, I'm out.
People in my chat were really excited. They were like, "Oh, this is what me and my friends played before Smash was a thing."
If you're excited for it, you drink Moxie too.
Like it was. Oof. Battle Network we talked about. Pac-Man World Collection. No one's asking for Pac-Man World ever.
Another game? No, I'm kidding. I saw the collector's edition. It's like $200.
Of course.
And you get a giant mech Pac-Man.
What?
and then you put your little Pac-Man in, and there are robot ghosts.
I might buy.
I mean, it would make a sweet anime.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Blanc, I touched on. Return to Monkey Island looked like a remaster of the game. It didn't appeal to me. I never played the original, so I don't care.
People love that game though, and I understand it's very pivotal in terms of what is it like adventure games like that, like point and click. There we go.
Like initially when they announced the pirate theme, I was like, oh, are we gonna get like a cloud version of Sea of Thieves? That's initially where I went. I was like, oh my god, like, because it was a partner mini direct. There were no games developed by Nintendo, none. It's all third party games. So I was like, oh my god, is Xbox like, are they doing a cloud version of Sea of Thieves? Like, is this what we're gonna get? And then it was Return to Monkey Island, and I was like, I don't care.
Okay.
Next, Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope. Checked off. baby's first RTS. Because honestly, that's what the first Mario and Rabbids was. Kingdom Battle, I think it was called. It was basically baby's first RTS, but it was fun, man. I am not a big like XCOM guy. I'm not. I never did a lot of PC gaming growing up. It was all like console games, so I never got into real-time strategy because I really don't remember any good real-time strategy games for like the PS2, like the PS1. Yeah. So I never got into XCOM, but I played Mario plus Rabbids and I loved it. It was pretty easy, but that's fine with me because I don't know what I'm doing. So the second one looks just as good. So I will eventually check it out. I know that Mario plus Rabbids goes on sale a lot. So my guess is Sparks of Hope will also go on sale a lot because they go through the Ubisoft cycle of like every 6 months it's either 15% off or whatever. So I'll eventually get there.
I thought the concept was so silly, and people were like, yeah, it's like XCOM. I'm like, okay, like it's actually good. Just the rabbits are so horrifying looking.
But
they're disgusting.
But it's also like they can move around a little bit more. Like I almost want to play the game.
Oh, yeah, it looks good. Like
freer, like there's freer movement. There's actually like pre-battle moves that you can do to like, you know, whatever, dash into your opponent or whatever. I think it's gonna be if it stays true to the first game, it's gonna be a fun game to play. Is it $60 worth? I don't think so. And again, Ubisoft titles seemingly go on sale. Even Mario plus Rabbids go on sale a lot. That I think you could wait and find this at like $40 USD. And I think that'd be fine.
I have all the assets and all of that for that game. If you want to make a thumbnail out of it, I have all that stuff.
Next was Little Noah. Didn't care about it. Oh yeah, we're going right down the list. After that was I wrote down Railroad Game because I didn't remember the name of it. I just wrote down Railroad Game because the trains,
trains, and automobiles.
Yep. RPG Legends of Right looked neat, but probably not a game for me. The next one is a game I think people will be excited for that I think looks terrible, and that's Sonic Frontier.
I think it looks fantastic because my daughter will like it.
See, my worry is their open zone is going to be, it's going to have lots of areas of nothing, of just Sonic running, and I think that's going to hurt. But I think that's going to hurt the game because it'll feel really empty.
Mm-hmm. I think that's what everybody keeps saying, and no one's played it yet. And I'll make that judgment when I get it. I feel like this is just a game everybody wants to dunk on, which is fine. My daughter loved the movie. She got really excited about it. She likes games that I don't like, so I don't care. That's my opinion on this one. I don't.
Here is the next game for Little Court, and that is the Disney game. Your daughter's going to be all over that.
Unbelievable. The amount she is going to play this game. It is also it is coming to early access on Game Pass first.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that will be an early access game on Xbox. It will be a free-to-play game eventually, but it will be on early access. So I don't know. We'd have to look it up, but I know it's coming to Xbox first. Oh, and so yes, my daughter will be playing a ton of that. I'm hoping that can be one of the ones that it'll be like play in the cloud.
Yeah,
because that would be nice.
I legit can't wait for that game. That game looks fun.
I'm gonna
get it for my wife, and I'm honestly, if I can get, I'm probably playing for PS5 too.
You could just get a darn Xbox. I think we don't have to have these conversations anymore. I'll get you a code for Game Pass
with a legit video card in it. You could just get it on PC.
Trophies, but that game's gonna be sick.
I'm honestly just shut up.
No, never. That'll make for a bad podcast, or good if you hate me.
No, I don't hate you, but
I mean, in general, the listener.
The Persona now you have to like play it on Switch, and you have to play it on Xbox.
You haven't gotten there yet.
I don't care. I can say it. I didn't know you had gotten to yet.
Live Alive.
Spoiler alert.
Never heard of it.
Hate that name.
Yeah, I hate it too. It sounds like a bad sports drink. there was like Dorea Man. I don't know. Didn't care about it.
Is it one Doraemon? So
Dora Man.
it's like an anime. Okay, it's like, is this really based on that franchise? Yeah, popular manga character Doraemon is getting in. So it's like this little blue, dumb-looking like hamster boy. I don't know how to explain it.
Hamster boy.
If you're a weeb, you know who Doraemon is. I'm gonna put this in general for you guys since you're not absolute degenerates.
I can't
But
open
this
it
is
because I have.
okay. Well, just it's.
I'll look
it's-
later.
The fact that they're coming out with a farming sim for Doraemon, I don't know who this is. It's not. I don't know who it's for. But hey, I bet it's gonna sell fair.
That's a signing.
Speaking of a game that is going to sell really well, Minecraft Legends was next. If you have Game Pass, it'll be on there because they are a Xbox first party studio now. But that game will do gangbusters on the Switch. Dragon Quest Treasures was shown. Don't care. Give me Dragon Quest 12 already. Wab, have you played Dragon Quest 11?
I haven't played any Dragon Quest.
Oh man, Dragon Quest 11.
I know,
is really
right?
good. I expect more from your weebness. Let me down.
I platinumed the Japanese rhythm game. What do you want from me?
Portal Collection was up at 19. Looks pretty cool. It's Portal. If you haven't played Portal, the game's like 20 years old.
Yeah.
You could get it on the Xbox 360 on the Orange Box Collection. Like, how haven't you played it yet? But from what I read, it's, rezzed up to 60 frames per second and blah, 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 blah. But I don't even know how much it costs. I don't care. I have Portal on PC. I play it maybe once every, I think I've played it once every, 2 years or something, just because it's a fun game to go play. Two more. Harvestella.
What's with all these farm games, dude?
Dude, Stardew Valley opened up a whole thing of, farming RPG.
You think Stardew Valley did that?
Yeah.
Farmville did that on Facebook.
No, I think
So Stardew Valley could run.
Harvest Moon walked so Stardew Valley could run. Farmville infected their neighbors, poisoned their neighbors' crops so they could be the standalone farm game. And then they died. And Stardew Valley rose from the ashes like a phoenix and said, "Hey,
Harvest Moon."
And said, "Hey, this is how you do farming RPG games." And now places just want to be just like it.
Fair.
And then last one, Persona 5. Persona 5 announced on October 21st. The same day it comes out on PlayStation. Same day it comes out on Xbox Game Pass. Same day it comes out on Steam. Persona 4 Golden and Persona 3 Portable also announced, but we don't have dates for those on any platforms yet. And we knew it was coming. I said it last show, I said it on the last show. I was like, I think there's a thing on the 28th or whatever, and it's going to be there. So,
if I may be critical about a series I love so much, the fact that they're releasing 5 Royale first and then TBD for 3 and 4, those games are going to feel old. Now, I love 4, but the fact that you're putting 5 in the hand, 5 is a masterpiece, and it's not just the story, because the story in all of them are great, but it's the gameplay is improved on. When you go back to 4, you're gonna be like, oh man, this feels like an older game, and then God forbid you go back to 3, because this is a port. You're gonna be, it's literally gonna be unplayable for some people.
I did not enjoy playing PlayStation 3 Portable. I mean, PlayStation 3. I played it on my PlayStation Vita. Persona 3 Portable on my Vita, I didn't enjoy it because at that point it felt old.
Exactly, because people played 4, then they got into 3, and 3 felt old. Now imagine you do this with, something from a different, 5 generations past.
Yeah.
It's going to feel weird. I recommend to you, if you do get this for the Switch or any other console, muscle through it, at least for 4. It's going to be worth it. 3, probably pass.
Yeah,
but
throw 3 in the trash. Play 4. 4 is my favorite Persona game. I very, very much love Persona 5, but because there's always a but I feel like Persona 5 towards the end didn't respect your time, and I was getting burnt out. I'm like, there is a logical finish point about 8 times, and we blew past it.
Royale did.
And then, but I played, I put 100 hours into Persona 5. So I can't say like, oh, I hated my time with it, because I didn't. I loved it. But I think
Did you play Royale?
I started it, and then I
Ending to
moved on to
Royale
something
is
else.
significantly stronger.
Is
So
it?
it improves the game astronomically of a game that was already incredible. So
Well, I mean, it drastically changed the opening.
Yeah.
Which I loved.
so play it on Switch.
I mean, I'm gonna play it on Game Pass on my Xbox. But you want to play it on Game Pass? I mean, you want to play it on Switch? Go for it. And that was the partner mini direct. Let's see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games out of the 21 I wrote down that I'm interested in. I think that's fine. It's it's third party, so you're gonna get indies. You're gonna get train games, right? That you don't care about, and you're gonna get big games and you're gonna get big old games, unfortunately, because people will buy them to play them portably.
Now,
It's
if you had to
just a
give
fact.
them a grade, what would you give Nintendo for this conference? Before we...
I'll give it a C. It was fine.
Love the conference. C.
It was a good conference, but it's a third party. What do you expect? Like, what would you expect from a third party Nintendo conference? They're not going to do like a Call of Duty cloud version, right? Honestly, I respect that Persona 5 and Nier Automata and these games aren't cloud versions of their games, so I'll give them that, because they could have easily just done the Kingdom Hearts thing and be like, we're going to play a cloud version. Like, go screw yourself. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
They showed some cool indie games. They showed some cool AAA games, and not everything's going to be a home run. I think it was a C. It was fine. It wasn't like,
Awesome.
why did I spend a half hour watching this? And it wasn't like, oh my God, every game they showed blew me out of the water.
That's a realistic point of view.
I mean, crazy.
If it was if they were like, it's going to be a first party one, that's when the expectations are through the roof. When it's just a regular Nintendo Direct, that's when the expectation, we're going to get Mario Odyssey 2, we're going to get this new Donkey Kong game, we're going to get Breath of the Wild 2, we're going to get
You're not getting any of that.
We're going to get a remastered Wind Waker.
No. That's not what you're getting. You're getting none of that.
Which they...
Nothing.
I don't know how...
I hear something crazy. So I was at Walmart today.
I love crazy.
And in the cabinet, there was an Xbox Series X, one, and in the other cabinet across from it, a PS5 digital.
Why didn't you buy it?
Why would... Okay, so it, unfortunately, unlike the United States right now, in Canada, we don't have the scarcity of this thing. This is the first time I saw it in the wild, but like I could go online right now and order one.
Weird.
Or buy it,
Yeah,
and
we
have
don't-
no one to sell it to, because people in Canada can go buy it.
I was gonna say shipping's so expensive. Maybe it's not.
Do you want me to send it to you? They want me to go get it and just ship it to you? Is
No,
that what
dude,
you're saying?
Not
You're
saying
thinking-
that. I'm
Yes,
not
you are.
explicitly saying that. I'm alluding to it.
He just wants
debated-
his,
I'm not gonna lie. I think I'm gonna change my desks. So I'm gonna get rid of this one, so it'll bring me down and give me more eye level, so it's not above the camera, so it's more here, which will be better because Pez explained to me it needs to be down. The camera needs to be higher. It needs to be better. And then I'm gonna get a 50-inch flat screen, and I'm gonna put it up on the wall, so that because this will be down lower. And then I'll have my two monitors. I'm gonna put my monitors like this, and then my 50-inch flat screen in the middle, so that I have my camera I'll put it over here so that it comes this way and it looks into the corner, and then that's for the shows. And then I have my video games, and then my work, and then it's just like, and I'll get a PS5 for here in my office, so that I have the Xbox and the PS5, so then I can have it both downstairs. This is what I'm thinking about right now.
Big brain.
Oh, big pain.
Or you're basically entering the Matrix.
Well, it's because I got the two 4K monitors, but they're only 60 hertz. And I realized I'm playing Assassin's Creed Origins right now. It looks great, but it doesn't look as good as it does downstairs on the OLED. And I'm like, you know what? Like, I do all the content creation on here. This stuff looks great on the monitor. Great. But the video games don't. Like, Waba, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you did it for as long as you did on that monitor you had. Like, that's like Pez has a great setup.
It's all he knew.
It's all I knew.
It's all he knew. He didn't know. He couldn't experience.
I was coming before from a 42-inch just HDMI. Like I was
know.
playing on a television.
Remember
Like a
Waba
television
needed-
that I got when I moved into this home.
when he
Waba
bought the
needed
PS5
component
Pez, we were
cables to
just-
hook up his.
Yeah.
Like
When he bought the PS5, remember the first time he played NHL? We were talking to him,
oh,
and he was
so
like,
messed up.
"Oh my god, this game looked good." I'm like, "No, no,
Why?
poop."
There was
No,
a
really?
blur behind my player because my eyes weren't used to
Mhm.
like technology.
Because
There's
like
like
I'm
a-
noticing in the sky in like Origins and in MLB The Show, there's like I can see lines, and I'm like, oh, it's just not as crisp. So I've decided I've spent so much time in here, right? So if I get the new desk, lower everything, and then have a better setup, but a better TV, I can also watch like Netflix. I just don't even have to leave this room. If I put a toilet in here,
Oof. All set. Done and done.
and a mini fridge that's shaped like an Xbox.
no, I don't want the mini fridge. See, my issue is I'll have to pee. Anything that goes in there just makes me pee. That's the way I look at it. I don't want to have to go pee. See, I
That's
just
fair.
derailed it because you guys just talked about Nintendo for
That's
forever.
fair.
Well, we were transitioning to a different topic
Well, I tried to. I did talk about monitors there.
because we are going to talk about the
Speaking
new
of
PlayStation.
derailing handhelds, guys, Sony is going to try to once again make a
That is-
handheld.
Really?
I don't know.
That's-
That's a rumor.
That's not. No. This is about the There was rumored hardware that then all of a sudden all these content creators got, and no press release from Sony on. It's so weird. So all of a sudden everybody can pre-order this. There's 3 headsets.
Okay.
Yeah, but there's no, because it's not PlayStation. It's so Sony Interactive is PlayStation.
Mad
but
Cats?
Sony did these. So there's a monitor and 3 headsets, and it's for the PC market. But you can get a dongle that you can flip over, and it can either be, it literally says PC or PS5.
Mm.
So for me, these headsets are not for me. There's a wired one, which I actually personally usually like the wired over the wireless. I find wireless always cuts out every now and then and drives me nuts, and then you got to charge it. And just, I have an Xbox wireless headset. I never use it because it's not wired, and there's no way to make it wired, and I hate it. I hate the fact that I can't make it wired. Like I really do, because I would use it more. But and then they have like a super duper wireless one that's like great sound and so on and so forth. And then they have a new monitor. Average consumer on YouTube, he tested it out. He said it's amazing, but it's only a 27-inch.
Perfect for me.
So I don't know. I think Sony is as a company wants to go into the PC market, and I think it's smart.
Yeah.
But I don't see who wants this stuff.
Well, I think Sony's problem is, so if you're watching on YouTube, I use the 3D Pulse headset, right? I use it almost on PC only because I run my PS5 through a mixer input on my PC, so I can just listen to when I play PS5. It does not have to be in the PS5. Runs on Dolby Atmos. I don't know why they would go high-end PC when you could buy these for $100 and probably get the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make sense. I get why they would
$3.99 Canadian. Oof.
I get why they would do monitors because they're an electronics company. You should be doing monitors. You should have been doing monitors from the beginning. Like I don't know why. I don't know.
The monitor
what you're
looks
doing.
like a PS5. Like the back of it is like the aesthetics.
That's kind of cool. I like the idea of that.
Waba wants this monitor now.
Yeah. Maybe I'll get it in 10 years when it's outdated.
These are fair.
I'll get it when it's
from his
never running
brother-in-law
5
who doesn't want it anymore. But I mean, yeah. I mean, they should be getting into PC. If they're going to put their games on PC, there is 100% a sect of Sony fanboys that'll have PC games or a PC that can play games because we're all nerds. And they'll get God of War on PC so they can run it at 144 frames per second in 4K, and they're gonna get the Sony monitor, because they think that that'll run it the best because it's a Sony product. And blah, 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 blah. They should be doing this.
I'm surprised they haven't.
I Also, I'm surprised they haven't. I thought, Court, that when you brought up Sony hardware, you were talking about the tweet that showed a potential new Sony handheld.
Yeah, but there's also the same sort of tweet that somebody says there's an Xbox handheld. Until I see it, because Jez Corden has squashed the Xbox One for now, and then Tom Henderson kind of squashed that Sony one. So
I don't think Xbox needs a handheld.
I surprisingly don't think Sony needs one anymore.
I
People didn't buy it.
I don't
think the
think
Steam Deck is.
I don't think Sony could do it correctly.
No. Or if they did one, like how Court says you can always tether your Xbox to other things, just have it tethered to your PS4. So they did the Vita, you guys know I love it. But they also did something called the PS TV, which was a little box that also used proprietary memory card, which is why it failed. It's super expensive now. I could have bought it for $10.
Yes.
Kicking myself. But you could plug it into a TV, HDMI, and you could basically either put in game cartridges, or you could remote play your PS4. That's what people used it for. They didn't use it for Vita, but you could use it your PS4 using remote play, which at the time was very like a big deal. Now with what Xbox and everything is, it's not as cool, I will say. But like, why don't they do something like that? A handheld that basically tethers to your PS5.
You know what my biggest
and then you
problem
get
was
that.
at the time? It was $99 here in Canada.
With the TV?
It was $149.99 to buy a PS4. What? Like, who cares?
Well, so not
you
only
can play your PS4 on it. Yeah, cool. I'll just go buy a PS4.
It made no sense in terms of utility. So the first reason, I mean, it was PS Vita TV, like it was to play Vita games on the TV. But then they were like, oh, the other thing is you can remote play, and that's what created value once again. But like, do you need it? No, not at all.
Dude, like I said, you just get another console.
Yeah.
Well, and the biggest problem was the memory cards.
Well, that too. But because I don't think they need another console or another handheld.
I don't either. The handheld market is pretty much dominated now by the Switch, and there is starting to be a large install base for the Steam Deck, which, by the way, Valve pre-ordered on day one. I still don't have mine. What are you doing, man? Let's go.
No one wants those things. I can't wait for it to collect dust. I honestly, because now you're working from home, I can't wait for that thing to be useless.
No, I'll use it like I use my Switch in bed. That's when I'll use it.
So he's gonna look up porn.
Yeah.
We're a kid-friendly
not
podcast.
Exclusively.
There's other ways to do
that. He's like, I use my phone.
But no, I mean, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense for Xbox because they're just like go to the xCloud and play it on your phone. Sony doesn't have that implemented yet. Like a cloud-based version, you can remote play your PlayStation 5 onto your phone. I don't think it works that well because half the screen is the freaking controller inputs. But I don't think Sony has to go out of their way to make a handheld. And I don't think they do it right. I think they would somehow screw something up. It would not surprise me if Sony did not learn and put out the Vita 2 or whatever they're going to call it, the Vita Pro, blah, 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 and you have to go buy Sony memory cards.
What would happen is that the outlets in your home wouldn't work. You would need a 3-pronged outlet, which means you would have to replace the hardware in your walls in order to charge the system.
Mm-hmm.
Well, everything has to be USB-C now moving forward. So everything.
Not with the Vita 2. Everything's going to be Vita 2.
The Vita 2 can only use original Vita chargers.
You have to go to a Tesla charger at the mall and charge your Vita 2.
But
only.
No, good. Everything should be USB-C. What are we doing here, people? Apple, we're looking at you, buddy.
Yeah, tell that to them. The last topic we have, speaking of apples, I guess, is we want to talk about staying fit, or trying to, as a dad, as a gamer, as days continue to pass. Pez, I know this is something you wanted to bring up, and something I think we're all kind of involved in one way or another. So
Yeah, I
You know,
mean,
give us your thoughts.
so just a little bit of background. I grew up playing sports, played football in college. At one point, was yoked to the moon. Right now,
Some
dumpy, dumpy.
double cheeked up on a
Get
Wednesday.
tired walking up the stairs. Like type 2 diabetic, genetically runs in the family, unfortunately. So one of my big things was trying to get back into shape. Like not like, oh, I'm gonna get back on the football field and play football again. Like no, I just want to be in shape that I don't have to. I can hopefully drop down to either pre-diabetic or just be done. Like that's the goal. Just be done. May never happen, but at least I'll feel better while I'm doing it. So I want to talk to you guys because I know I've been going to the gym, but it's not consistent because it's like in the spring it was okay. We're doing 3 to 4 days of soccer. I live an hour away from where soccer is happening. Like when do I get that time in? Now that I'm working from home, in the morning I have a yoga routine in the morning when I wake up, and then once I like get into the flow of the summer, because now that the summer's here, my daughter's home. Figure like going to the gym at lunch and getting into that thing. But I wanted to talk about the struggle and also find out what you guys do, if anything, what you do to kind of like try and stay in that fitness arena, but then B, if you also use working out or whatever as a like as a release for all the stresses of the day. You know what I mean?
So I used to go to the gym pre-child. It was like 2 to 4 times a week. And it was one day was like a boot camp. The people who taught it we became friends with, and then they had like 3 kids, so that slowly stopped around the time we did. I did spin class. I did a lot. Both my wife and I did. And then we had a child, and that took up a lot of time. And then a year into child, COVID happened, and I was too paranoid. I don't know if I was too paranoid, but it was definitely like I went to the gym once and I saw someone like huffing and puffing with their mask on as I'm on the treadmill with one, and I could not handle it. And I'm not to get into that. I wasn't comfortable. But now that things are kind of getting back to it, I'm also lazy. So I don't want to factor all this into, COVID and child. Like, let's not forget the number one reason. I'm lazy naturally. I'm usually in a state of sit or lie down.
You're if we had to like say what animal you are, it would be sloth.
And if I was a Pokemon, I'd be Snorlax, but I'd be as buff as Machamp though. Let's get one thing straight.
And also I wanna put in there, and I want people to understand every time I speak, it's painful, but I gave Waba things that he could do at home during the pandemic over the last 2 years. I was like, this is what you can do. This is what you can do. He's like, oh, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. And then every 2 other episode, he was drinking like a pop in front of me, and I'm just like, yeah, you ain't doing anything.
I did get sick, so when I get sick, McDonald's spray cures me, but
That's not a real thing.
yeah, it's a placebo. So, so recently though, I do want to kind of get back to it. So I've actually started working with a nutritionist slash like coach, and we meet every 2 weeks. And one thing that she's really helped me do is improve my food. So it might sound well for those who don't know. Basically, what I would eat every meal is ground chicken, ground turkey, or like peas and broccoli because I eat very bland anyway. But it's like the stuff in between, the snacking though, when I get hungry, and that's really what like did me in. So I've really made a lot of improvements there. Like I have like, like trail mix, or like there's like some like protein, like peanut butter, honey, like this, it's called protein balls, which sounds lewd. It's not. Like CG's like these quinoa chips and salsa, and it's like a lot of like things that like fill you up. It's like, what is it? It's like the caloric density. Like, it's you eat things that are filling too with a lot of water. Um, and it helps. It's definitely tough. Because like one of the big things I do when I get stressed, and COVID didn't help with that, is like freaking snack. But like now that things are better, like I don't work out as like I hate working out, but like that's like the biggest thing, and I feel like I now have like ownership over like the things I eat, more so than I did. Like yes, we'll still go out, and I'll like we'll go get pizza or whatever, but like it's fewer and far between, and it's not I don't have as much as I did, so I'm getting full faster, and I feel like I have more control over it, and it's kind of cool. Now I just need to work on like the being active and working out part, but yeah, for me that's always been the biggest challenge, and the past few years didn't help. Plus, again, with just me being naturally lazy and not wanting to do it, I really have to push myself to. So that's why I land.
Just every 2 seconds, he's like, I want to clarify everything. I'm
I
lazy.
well, because that's I hate you using like I'm very realistic when it comes to this stuff. Like even when I meet with like my coach, and she's like hey, like what'd you do on this day, or like but did you do the workout today I put in? I'll be like no,
Do you
and
have
I'm like yeah,
do you have a smartwatch?
I don't.
So
I'm just a dumb watch.
is your I was gonna say is your phone, because I know you don't like giving out things.
Don't you have phones?
Well, is it a is it an Apple or no?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a
So
Nokia.
so it's
Would
no?
not surprise me.
No, it's an Apple.
Okay. So here's my suggestion to you. As someone that I don't know how to sound like an asshole. A poop. Oh wow, edit that out.
Nope, leave it in.
We don't
Um,
edit.
as someone that works out daily, literally works out daily, gained 10 pounds because of the pandemic because I was working out from home and I couldn't get my routine back, and I just started doing it. I don't snack at all anymore, but I was during COVID. I gained. It was bad, and for me, I gained 10 pounds. That was bad. I used to weigh 220 pounds about 10 years ago. Um, but then I got divorced. That's like the quickest weight loss thing I've ever seen in my life. Um, you get destroyed with anxiety, and you don't eat. And all I could do was go to the gym. So all I did, and that's when I started going to the gym more. And so what I do is on the weekends, I try and do the easiest. So on the weekends, I go and I just do legs 2 days in a row. I know people say mix it up. I just do legs 2 days in a row. One day of legs is like lifting weights. The other day is like doing cardio. I also go every day. I go for a walk with my daughter, or we go for a bike ride. But I do weights,
Mhm.
and I do some machines, but I do mostly free weights, and I try and do resistance. So I'll do the pulls, anything with a pull, because you're getting a resistance when you do the machine. It's not as good as a resistance. And then eating right. I don't drink pop
Mhm.
because it's bad for you. I don't eat McDonald's, and when I do, it literally makes me feel sick to my stomach. So when you don't eat that kind of food and then put it back in your diet when you've had alcohol, you get sick, and it's not from the alcohol; it's from the food coming in because it's so bad.
Mhm.
And I'm not saying cutting out everything. Like I still eat. Like tonight for dinner, I made chicken wings, but I made them in my house, and they were phenomenal. But it hurt every second when I was trying to chew them. Um, you can still. I don't believe in cutting out foods. I truly don't. When I do really want a snack, or I want like a treat, as I call it, I have a fudgesicle, or I have a 2 squares of dark chocolate. It still does the trick. It gives you that sweetness, and you're not overindulging, because stuff like chips, there's no ending. Like once you put your hand in, you don't know how much you've eaten, and then all of a sudden the bag's gone. You're like, oh, and then you have that thing, and you're talking about caloric intake. You're putting all that food in there. Yes, you're full, but none of it is good. Your body's going
Mhm.
to take forever to digest it. It's going to push through. It's not going to come out nice on the other end. Never does. And you feel like crud after. You need to put good energy into your body. So other good snacks would be a handful of almonds.
Mhm.
And you know what? If you don't like the raw ones because they taste terrible, let's be real here. Get the roasted ones for a little bit until you can get the hang of it.
Treat
Because
yourself.
think about it, a bunch of roasted almonds are extremely better than a bag of chips.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? These are just try and stay away from sugar as much as possible. Sugar is like, it's just nasty, and so there's natural sugars like dark chocolate. It doesn't have all the preservatives that get put into it like you do with milk chocolate. Milk chocolate isn't a real thing. Dark chocolate is like what cocoa is. Like as someone that's had a cacao seed
Ow.
from cacao seed, I've eaten one. Like it tastes like dark chocolate. That's what it tastes like. So I don't eat milk chocolate, period. My only vice that I have is ice cream. It's the one that gets me every time. So I get the little Haagen-Dazs things, and I'll get the little, the little tiny spoons, and I'll use a
Mhm.
tiny spoon, and then
In Boston, we call that a hoodsie, and we use a wood stick.
I get the little little mini 6 packs because I do like the taste of pop, and it's terrible. So I get the no caffeine Coke Zero, and I get the mini cans.
That's actually I like that. Those are good.
So then you're not drinking a ton of it. You're still getting that thing, but I only do it if if I look at my watch. So like on your Apple Watch, you can set goals. So I've closed my circles today. So then I know I'm like, I had a decent day. I can look at my heart rate and all that. And I found once I got this watch, it pushes you because you're like, you can actually look and go, oh, man, you know what? I can go for a walk. I can do that. It's 15 minutes. Even if you're a lazy person, you look at your watch and be like, I was really lazy today. You know what? I need to get up. It also makes you stand so that you can get your blood flowing through your body, which is also good. And then sleep is one of the most important things. Waba. So, that thing, sleeping.
What?
So like for me, I go to bed at 9:30. Sounds weird.
Weird.
And I get up at 6, but I feel good. Whenever I stay up late and stay up till 11 and then get up at 7, I feel like garbage.
Mhm.
And once you feel like garbage when you get up, your day is, to me, and this is just me, this is all personal preference. I feel like my day is ruined.
That makes sense.
So there's little things. I don't cut out everything. I still eat ribs. I still get Swiss chalet, but I don't get French fries.
Swiss
Like
chalet all
that's
day.
one of those things that I stopped eating was French fries.
Mm.
It's terrible. I got a air fryer. So if I want the feel of fried food without the fry part, I use the air fryer.
Mhm.
It still does the trick. It's
Yep.
without the heartburn. Seriously. So I think there's a way to be healthy and not have to be crazy and do a diet. I work out a half an hour to 45 minutes a day. That's all I do. That's it. And then I make sure that I go for a walk or I make sure I get my stand goals. But Waba, I truly think an Apple Watch would be a motivator for you because guess what? It has trophies.
Would it surprise you that I owned one at one point and sold it?
No.
I won it as a raffle prize, and I
So I'll tell you this, Waba.
Years ago.
It has trophies, and we could actually go against each other to get special trophies.
Oh,
It also gives you medals and medallions and gives you goals. And then when you hit those goals, you get trophies for them. And you can collect trophies, and there's specific ones for like a run, and there's different types of trophies, and there's rare ones, Waba.
like a real life RPG.
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
Cause what's your experience? And you brought up the topic as well.
So well, diet wise, I am restricted to as little carbs as possible because type 2 diabetics, we have an issue with our pancreas that we don't do as much insulin as everyone, and that messes with our blood sugar and our glucose and blah blah blah. So no carbs, no sugar. Basically my diet consists of things like egg whites, vegetables, maybe a serving of fruit a day, because the natural sugar, if I have too much, my blood sugar goes through the roof. Resistance training for type 2 diabetics, your goal is 120 minutes a week of resistance training. So whether that's bands or free weights or whatever, I have seen that when I just go to the gym and I run for 45 minutes, which I can do on a treadmill, I can run it at 5 for 45 minutes straight, and I feel great, and my body hurts the next day, but I can do it. Like, I'm a big guy, but I have some sort of in shapeness, I guess, for it. My blood sugar will remain the same as it does on like a normal day. When I lift, when I do like weight training or resistance bands, my blood sugar drops like significantly. So we're talking like normally my blood sugar when I go to bed is about 130. They say at bedtime a diabetic wants their nighttime blood sugar at 140 or lower. Mine's usually anywhere between 110 and 130. When I do weight training, it drops to about 95. because what that does is that exercises your muscles out and releases all their like whatever stored up insulin or blah blah blah. I don't really know the whole scientific thing behind it. So I have to constantly, like, I went out to eat today. So we had a big leadership meeting at work, and then we went out. Everyone went out for lunch. Guy across from me had pizza. HR next to him had pizza. Manager next to me had pizza. Manager next to him had pizza. Me, I was like, chicken Caesar salad, no croutons, please.
Dude,
And that
that's
was
so
it.
tough though. Like
It's
it
hard.
sucks.
It's hard. And it's hard when it's 8 o'clock at night and you're driving home from practice and your kid hasn't eaten yet, and she's like, can we just get McDonald's because I'm hungry and we won't be home for like 45 minutes? And I'm like, sure. And I just don't eat anything until I get home. I think you're muted, Court.
Sorry, can you do cauliflower crust? That's
Yep.
what I do. So
Yep.
I don't like pizza. As a lactose intolerant person, pizza sucks. So I do cauliflower crust with a little bit of sauce and vegetables on top. And dude, oh my
stuff.
goodness. It's phenomenal. I get made fun of when I have my broccoli pizza and I'm like, it tastes great.
Yeah, it's all about, with diabetics, it's all about carb counting. That's how you pretty much manage it, because no like wheat, you can't have any like wheat flour stuff, so no bread, no pasta, right? But like if you want to do like shiitake mushroom pasta or something like that, you can probably do it. I don't like pasta anyway, so it doesn't bother me. But like when I make chicken, I'll season my chicken. I'm not like you, Waba, that eats plain chicken. That's disgusting. A little salt, pepper, you season it, right? But instead
It's
of
disgusting.
it's
I
disgusting.
legit don't. Like I'll maybe one time I'll get brave and put like onion powder in it.
Disgusting.
But I put
dude.
on I do. It's literally like today I had plain ground chicken and broccoli that had like oil and pepper and salt on it.
God.
But like that was it.
So I'll make my family rice in the rice cooker, and I eat cauliflower rice. Like that's the second, and then
If
like
you-
broccoli or asparagus or something with it, and it's fine. I
Get
love
a
it.
good rice noodle.
Yeah, I could do that too.
I did that this week. I did I got well, I was going to, sorry. The plan was to get chicken thighs, marinate them in a honey garlic, and then slice them, throw them on the barbecue, and then cut them up even a little bit more, and then do some vegetables.
Yep.
Like steam some vegetables and then fry them real quick in a flash fry, like the frying pan.
Yep.
Not deep fry, that's gross. And then do a rice noodle. Because my daughter loves it because she loves pasta, but I switched her over to rice noodle and she has no clue and she eats it.
Nice.
No problem. And then you
So
don't have to
true.
have that pasta. You don't have to have that because you know what's funny, Pez, when you talk about the things you can't eat? When I do eat those things, I need a nap.
Yeah. Like I haven't had pasta in probably 2 years, 3 years, because
Wow.
I can't eat it. And the way I look at it now, the way I look at food is, am I willing? Because like I can eat pizza, I can have like 2 slices of pizza, and it's not gonna send my sugars sky high. But I look at what is put before me now, and I'm like, do I want to waste my carbs eating this? Because if I eat Cheez-Its or if I have chips, like that's gonna skyrocket. And the same goes with drinking beer. Like, do I want to drink beer or do I want to go do something else? Because I can have a beer and be fine, right? When I have 6 beers, right, my blood sugar's through the roof, which is why I drink a lot of seltzer now, because there's, it's low carb, there's no sugar in it, and it doesn't spike. And I was never a sweets person, but every now and then I'll eat keto ice cream because keto ice cream is made with a different kind of sugar. Doesn't taste as good as ice cream, but you know what? It's a sacrifice that I have to make, because if I eat regular ice cream, a serving of ice cream will skyrocket my blood sugar. So for me, it's portion control, and it's all math. It's all math.
So
Go ahead.
at PAX this year, when we finally all meet at the same time when we go out for lunch, we're gonna be fun. Waba's gonna get a piece of toast.
We'll get plain chicken. Well, the thing is like when we go out, when I go out to eat my family, like I'll get a cheeseburger, and I just don't eat the bun on it. It's just like, it is what it is. I just cut it up. And I get and instead of fries, I get a side salad. Like,
Hey, dude, when I go to the Swiss, I love it and all, but I get it without the skin.
yeah, And you know what? If I want an empanada, if seriously I want an empanada and we're at PAX and I'm doing 10,000 steps or whatever, I'll just get
you,
it.
you have an
And
empanada, dude.
you'll burn it off. Like
Yeah, but Waba, you need the watch. I think what we've come to the conclusion is Waba needs the watch.
I have my I don't
This
have an Apple
podcast is
Watch.
just you guys trying to get me to buy things, buy an
Yeah,
Xbox, buy a watch.
sponsored by Apple.
Hold
yeah.
on.
Hashtag
You
ad.
do need to buy an Xbox. Like this is
Yeah.
almost getting ridiculous.
You guys
by
are
now.
like my brother-in-law. He's really good at spending my money.
What are you talking about, Waba? You're very good at not spending money. You're the best I know.
Someone's got to do. It's all those offshore bank accounts, baby.
If people don't realize, Waba sends us messages all the time. He's like, "This is how much money I made on this. This is how much money I made on this."
And I just
are
before I said
these are
like, hey, I
facts.
just gotta prove to do auctions on whatnot.
Yeah, I know.
But I will
I will say
say
this: I did buy a camera for $10.
I will say, in all honesty, also struggle with motivation to go to the gym every day because it's
You're
okay. I
doing
have
well
to
for a
work.
while.
Yeah, so I can get like it was harder when I wasn't working from home because it was okay. Get out of work at 3:30, home by 4:30. Do I want yes, I'll go to the gym for an hour, 45 minutes. Go to the gym. But then there are days I come home and I'm like, I don't want to do it. Or it's like I have to stream Tuesdays, I do the podcast Wednesdays. I'm not getting up at 4 a.m. to go to the gym and then go to work all day because it's an hour drive to work. So it'll be easier and I'll be more consistent now. But and I want to ask you guys, and if we may run a little longer, I don't care. As someone who works, so all three of us have jobs. Are you watching the Blue Jays game? I heard that over the mic. As someone who the three of us work a full-time job, we have at least one kid, and all three of us have a second job or hobby or side gig doing content creation. Like, how do you find the time? Like, Court, when do you go? Do you just go when you get up at 6 a.m, or is it like when your daughter's off to school and you can sneak out of work sneak away
I
for
drop
45
her off.
minutes?
So I start work at 9:00.
Mhm.
I drop off my daughter at 8:00. I go straight to the gym, and then I come home and I shower on my lunch because I work from home.
Smart.
So I don't shower, and I'm here in the morning, and I'm doing my job, and then when it's lunchtime, I hop in the shower. That's how I do my day. Every day.
So
So
it's
it's very easy to do it. Here's what I also find: if you're going to work out, I've done the middle of the day. I've done at the end of the day stuff.
Mhm.
If you can get into a routine, and this is all ifs.
Mhm.
If you can get into a routine, and you can work out first thing in the morning, you'll be a happier person because you start your day off with endorphins.
yeah,
It's just science.
science.
And I've also found that my moods are better. And when I miss the gym, my moods go down.
Mhm.
I can't do the morning. I try. Maybe I'll try to get back into it now, but I always struggle. Like, and I used to work out at like between 10 and midnight, which Court's
I did that too. I did that too when I worked a job. When I worked a job where I worked, I was in college. So I was going to school like 8 to 2 and then work 3 to 11. And then I would go to like a Planet Fitness at like midnight
Mhm.
and work out till 2 in the morning or whatever. Because like there was a time in my life when I went to the gym, we worked, like me and a friend worked out for like 3 hours. And it was like full body and then lift and then shoot around and play basketball. And then go home. Like that was the gym. It wasn't just like I'm gonna go run for a half hour like I do now because I'm old and my body hurts all the time.
Yeah, but like when I talk to my coach about it, she's like, okay, well, like that's fine. Like I'd rather you do something, but like at the end of the day, you can't refuel yourself. You're not refueling until the next morning.
Correct.
So what I've tried to do is I start work a little early, and then in the middle of the day, if I can find like half an hour to 45 minutes of like no meetings or like some time where things are calm, then I'll, do a workout like usually between like 2 and 4. And then that way it's, not the middle of the night, and then I can refuel at dinner.
Yeah, I like Court's idea, and I especially now that I'll be home
Yeah, dude, I think
4 days a week. It'll be
the getting up
yoga
early
and
thing.
then go to the gym and then
Yoga.
come home.
I think you
Well,
could
yoga I want
seriously,
to
you
do
could
to just get more flexible because I've never really been flexible. And again, like when I was doing gardening the other day, like my hamstrings hurt because
Dude,
I was squatting for an hour digging through the garden, So like it's like
dude, my plans aren't
getting
even
old,
flexible, let alone my body.
getting pretty old. Like my
I
knees
would
are a
say,
mess from football.
I would
My
say if you're
my
gonna
feet are a
if you're going to
mess.
do the yoga,
Yeah.
I would do the yoga halfway through the day. You could stretch a little bit at the gym,
Yeah.
because yoga is very calming.
Yeah.
So I would think that doing yoga for myself personally, before working out would be
Would be
counterproductive.
give you the adverse effect.
This
Yeah,
is
I
gonna
mean,
come out of
If you could, Pez, if you could start a routine where you get up, get your 8 hours, because it's important to get your 8 hours, especially with your diabetes,
yep,
for your
which I
body.
pretty much do anyway.
You get the kids out the door. You get to the gym as quickly and humanly as possible first thing in the morning. You get your workout. Just do a half an hour. Just set small goals.
Yeah.
Half an
As-
hour. If you can do a half an hour routine of every day, you go to the gym, boom, you're doing a half an hour, just Monday to Friday, even. Don't even have to take the weekends off. And you can do that half an hour. Pick, okay, I'm going to do arms today. Just do arms.
Mhm.
I'm going to do chest today. Just do chest. Instead of doing bis and tris and whatever, just pick one factor of the body,
Yeah.
and then you'll start mixing it up as you keep going and you keep going and you keep going. And then every Monday to Friday, and then you're like, oh, and then you do your mindfulness at lunch. Like you take a shower, to do some mindfulness and then take a shower and think about it. You're going to be, your stress level, your happiness is going to be higher.
Yeah. That makes sense. It makes sense, 100%.
So hopefully our stories, plight, successes have I don't know. Hopefully it helps because I feel like what we're talking about and what like the things we've gone through or going through, it's not super unique. And I
No.
feel like, if you go on like TikTok or like Twitter, you see like all these like jacked people and they're like, oh dude, it's easy. You just buy peas or something. Like they're like, oh, here's my fitness tips. So like I think hearing about it, hopefully from like some like, some of the everyman, the common man, the man of the peoples.
Well,
Um,
it's like, as your kids get older, and like I know like Court can attest to this, like his daughter going to play hockey, right? Like my kids in soccer 4 nights a week during the season. It's like, when are you gonna find time to do everything? Be a good dad, be a good husband, be a good employee, and then do stuff you love to do. Because if you also don't have time to do Twitch or TikTok or whatever you're into, sewing, reading, whatever, you're gonna be miserable. So it's all, I think I think Court's advice of basically like getting into a routine is the most important thing.
can have that advice for free.
That's free.
And you don't have to buy any peas if you don't want to. We're not your dad. But we are 3 dads and a console. And hopefully you had fun. And if you watched us live, you can see us at youtube.com/3 dads and a console. Also make sure to rate us on your podcast platform of choice. If you're hearing this on the 30th, go check out Pez's Monster Hunter stream. And then tell him he's doing a good job hurting animals that weren't doing anything in the first place to anyone. His face just went from like, oh, thanks, and then he's like,
my
what?
man out here. You want to talk about not hurting animals that aren't doing anything to anyone? You don't even season your chicken. You're hurting everyone.
Good, and I'd do it again if I had the chance. I'm just gonna make
season your damn chicken, will you?
No, you can't make me. And hopefully you guys have a good time. Go ahead and get out there and lose weight and season your chicken. And we'll talk to you folks in the next episode. See you next week.